Hello, fake sinners, and welcome to this week's meeting of the Sad Kids Record Society. I'm your host, Lilli, and this week I'm listening to Running with the Sun in Your Eyes by Marmozets.
Now, I'm your other host, Adam, and this week I'm listening to Click Clack Symphony by Ray and Hans Zimmer.
And I am your guest host, Eliot Holmes, a.k.a. Lil Bitch. And this week I am listening to Bridge Over Troubled Water by Harry Styles.
Well, we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's drop the needle.
This is amazing. You are literally like my musical soulmate.
This is a bop.
Oh my god, it's another deep cut. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here?
I think this is going to be a fun one.
I have a question for you guys.
Answer for you.
Guy and gal. What is the most beautiful thing in the world?
Oh. Shoes.
That's correct. That is correct.
Yeah, we so this is a deep cut, and again, I feel like I have explained this concept so many times over the last several weeks, but this is our in between seasons episode where we are going to cover something that is not like, we're not going to spend a whole season on like an album or a thing, so we're just going to cover a specific topic. And this topic that we're going to be doing here today is the musical Kinky Boots, also a major motion picture, but I actually have not seen the major motion picture. So if one of you has, we can talk about that too. But yeah, we are going to talk about Kinky Boots today, and we have a special guest, Lil Bitch Eliot Holmes is here joining us this episode because he insisted on being here.
I'm very excited. Kinky Boots is one of my probably top 3 favorite musicals of all time. So it is. And I think it's incredible. I've seen it on Broadway and when it came to here in Kansas City, and watched the Broadway HD streaming version a couple times too. So
I didn't know there was a Broadway HD streaming version, so I'm at a disadvantage. I think my favorite thing about having you here so far is that Adam has talked none, and I think that's been a real saving grace for me. So he's got water in his mouth. We're just going to continue as if he's not here. I do have a question though before we go, because again, this episode is going to be about Kinky Boots, but of course we do have a little bit of social connection at the beginning of the podcast, like human beings, which we all are, obviously. Duh. Don't look deeper into that. Have y'all seen the Arrow pickles? Because I have been just so taken by the Arrow pickles on TikTok. It's just this guy he took. It's like an aerobics dance routine that people are doing stitches of, but it's like this guy made these animated pickled vegetables. So you've got the cucumber, you've got Miss Carrot, you've got the bell pepper twins, and you've got Madam Radish, and they're all doing these like aerobic routines. And it's just like the most addicting song you've ever heard in your life. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4 Arrow pickles.
So
5,
like
7, 8. Da, 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 da.
arrow as in the air, or arrow as in like you shoot an arrow?
AERO is in aerobics.
Okay.
Like aerobic pickles. And it's pickled vegetables. So it's like Japanese. It's like all in Japanese. It's like the best thing ever. I'll put a little clip up on the screen for the YouTube watchers, but it's just been like such a delight for me. The last Adam's laughing, Adam's watching it right now.
What the fuck?
I'm so sorry.
Okay, is it just this one video, or is there like ongoing videos?
So that's the main video. It's just one like dance aerobic routine. They all have a turn. So the cucumber goes, and then the carrot goes, and then the bell pepper twins go, and then the radish goes, and then they all do it together. They all do like a final bit of the routine together. And so it is this animation project this guy did, and then all of these different people like all of these different people are like doing the choreography. So I've been like, I went straight from the In Sync choreography videos into the Arrow Pickle videos. So I have been unsafe from choreography for the last like month, I feel like. Which I could like go into the whole In Sync. I don't know if you like the "You're All I Ever Wanted," and the people are just like doing like an extreme dance routine to that, and that's coming back now too. So it's like a whole thing. I'm on TikTok too much.
Yeah, I am. My TikTok algorithm has got me fully into Hadestown TikTok, which is a very like a substantial sub TikTok genre that I didn't realize. I know you guys mentioned, I just saw Hadestown. I knew nothing about Hadestown other than it was supposed to be really good. I just saw it for the first time, and I searched up because like the guy that played Hades that I saw was really good, and I searched him up on TikTok. And the algorithm is like, oh, so you want exclusively Hadestown TikToks? Okay.
But Hadestown.
Which
I saw that
TikToks have.
That's true. I saw Hadestown when I came through Dayton when I was still in Ohio, and that was a really fucking solid show. I really like Hadestown a lot.
Yeah. Cliffy B knows what musicals to fund, I guess, you know?
That's right.
Adam, do you have a purpose?
I don't. I'm just I've been letting you guys have your fun. I am just interested in how this how the rest of this episode will go, because it feels like we've talked about this episode for like 4 years.
Yeah.
At this point, basically. And I watched it on the same service that Elliot did. Lilli, if you watch it on that, it's actually really impressive. I mean, first when Elliot.
I told Adam, I don't know why I didn't tell you about it, Lilli. Sorry. I told Adam
transphobic. Mostly.
Pride Month was over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, especially we're recording on the day after Pride Month ended. So
what is July as a month? I don't even know.
It's America Month.
That's true.
All the months are America Month. Happy birthday, America.
This stream's impressive. Like at first, Elliot was like, it does not feel as vibrant as Hamilton. And then a second later, he's like, nope, never mind. Yeah, it does. Like that camera does a lot. And it just like, there's times where it gets right up in their fucking faces, it feels like, in a way that they do in Hamilton, but it just does not have, I guess, the hype around it that Hamilton does, because of course it's not the original Broadway actors, it's the West End actors. So it's not going to be the highfalutin version.
Highfalutin. It's what's weird to me about Kinky Boots, and I don't want to get too much into the discussion just yet because we do have to do our normal segments, but the thing that gets me about Kinky Boots is that it was not a British creation originally. It's an American musical.
Yeah.
Which is strange to me because it debuted in Chicago the first time it was ever performed. And so that's a bit strange to me because it is about a British thing. So it's very strange to me. But I
think it's the film. I think the film is full of English actors.
Yeah, isn't like
British comedy drama.
Ejiofor in that, and like I feel like
he plays Lola. I watched that. Weirdly enough, I watched that because it came out in like 2005. I watched that with my brother and dad. Just like once, it was like on TV or something like that, and we're like, this is kind of strange. It was good, but and then when they came out with the musical, I was like, is this the same thing? And yeah, it's the same story. So.
Oh, Joel Edgerton was Charlie. That's interesting.
And then Nick Frost was what's his name? Yeah, it was Don.
Interesting.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Well, before we get too deep into it, Adam, did you want to bitch about a movie? I think you said you wanted to bitch about a movie, and I want to give you legitimately 2 minutes maximum.
What movie did I want to bitch about?
Was it a movie about a podcast or something?
What?
Oh, fuck, was it goddamn fucking Undertone?
Yes, was it?
I sent this to you in like the last 7 days.
Is that scary movie about a podcast? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
It's a scary the life that I live having to record with this fuck every week.
Exactly. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's autobiographical. Adam made it.
Adam made it.
That's why I don't find it terrifying. She would.
He's like, this sucks. Who made it? Oh, I did.
Whoops.
So this is a movie about a true crime horror podcast, and she starts to get haunted. She takes care of her mother who is dying. This movie is like jump scareless. This movie is scareless. It takes them, I'd say, approximately 7 days to record one episode of a podcast that seemingly is like, I don't know, 70 minutes maybe. So it's like, I'm going to sit down and record. And then it's like 5 minutes of them talking on camera. Some shit happens and she's like, no, I got to go. Like, what the fuck? What is the production that even went behind the production of thinking that you could make a movie about a podcast? At this point, it just pissed me off.
I'll be honest. I think that the concept of a true crime podcaster being haunted by a ghost is actually a really cool idea in concept and theory. It sounds like
if that had a payoff.
Yeah.
Like if they were doing a story about like BTK and BTK were dead, and I'm just clinging to BTK because Kansas.
Really the BTK.
But it's like if BTK were dead and then haunted the podcast, like that would make sense as a motif. It's not even fucking that. Like it's not even anything. It is nonsense from like front to back.
Yeah.
And it, like all the trailers, because we've seen movies in the theater this year. This basically probably had a trailer in front of at least 2 of those where it's like, this is the scariest movie ever. This sucked ass. And I'm pissed off that they were like, podcast movie, best sound ever. Not even the best sound. This sucked. I hated my life for like 90 minutes, which is like on top of the 90 minutes that make up the other 24 hours of the day. So it was like doubling down on just hatred for things.
Do you think it was worse than the movie I recently saw in theaters?
Which one?
Oh, you know which one. The one that I ranted to you about for an hour after I saw it. Lilli, I am not a fan of the box office bomb titled Supergirl.
Oh, interesting. That's very divisive because it's people are making fun of Millie.
So I had some issues with her and her performance, but overall she was fine. I like her. I thought she was great in House of the Dragon. In the, 3 episodes she was in. But it was just like the movie, just like nothing about it was enjoyable to me. It felt like, I don't know, it's just like the action felt like not great. And there was a lot of like, you know, her having plot armor and then her not having plot armor, and then back to that and just all this stuff. And then it just like I don't know. I'm a sucker. Like I'm a MCU sucker. Like I love it when everything like ties back in, and this did to a little bit, but it was very like self-contained especially for how much James Gunn has been like ramping up his DCU or like, you know, talking about it and stuff. And it's just like none of it worked. And then I shared with Adam, I won't spoil it. It has the most confusing, weird needle drop for a final boss battle. Can you tell I play a lot of video games? For a final bad guy battle that I've ever seen in my life. And it's like, Lilli, if you're planning on watching the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, look it up, because it is like, why did they pick this song and this version of this song? No idea.
Yeah. I'm probably going to see it. I know that the members of my family are interested in seeing it, so I'll probably go see it at some point. But it's been interesting to see how, like, especially with Jason Momoa playing the character he was always supposed to play in the fucking first place.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, I feel like Lobo is like who he's supposed to be and not fucking Aquaman. But
But yeah, the way that's even like, he has a couple moments, but also like, it's like, I don't know much about Lobo, but I was like, I feel like his character could have been some random guy that is in there instead of like Lobo.
Well, I haven't seen any movies recently. The next movie I'm planning to go, so I saw Obsession. Obsession fucking rules. That's probably like the best horror movie I've seen since fucking Sinners. That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
I am aware of Obsession. I do this thing that really pisses Adam off. I'm not a big horror movie or horror video game fan, but I do like to know about the twists and turns. So if I'm like, I'm not going to see this, I look up the Wikipedia plot.
I do that with Saw and Final Destination. Like, I'm so fascinated by Saw and Final Destination, like the lore in those movies, but I have no interest in seeing them. Yeah. I've seen the first Saw. The first Saw is actually a legitimately good sustained horror thriller, but the rest of them are too much for me. So I do that with Final Destination. So I get it.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I say, I don't watch horror movies. I've seen every Saw movie, so I'm an enigma. I don't know.
Yeah, but with every other fucking horror movie that's good, he's like, do you want to read a Wikipedia page?
But I did see Backrooms. I did see that one.
How's that? That's also one that's kind of like with people.
Yeah, no,
I
was not a fan. I get why people would, like, when Adam inevitably sees it. I could see like Adam maybe liking it a lot more than me, but I was just like, it wasn't for me.
Well, yeah. Movie opinions notwithstanding, we should get into the bulk of the podcast, but first we have a short little mail time to get to. If y'all guys want to come,
oh hell yeah!
All right, let's go.
Mail time. Yes, I hate you.
We don't have a ton. I think the I want to say something to the people at home who listen to this podcast. You included, Elliot. You listen up, buddy. You do understand that you do not have to just message us and send us emails and content within the hours after we release an episode. Right? You can send things anytime.
Well, I know for me, it's like I want to get it in so that it's on like it's as relevant as possible. So I'm like, I know you guys release it on Tuesday morning, or you typically record on Tuesday evening. So I'm like, I got to get it in. But I understand that you will read it when I get it to you. But that is just like a little like,
it's like a FOMO thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's like, if I want to talk about like this song 2 episodes from now, like nobody's gonna want to hear this. I don't know. You're
talking as a microphone farts guy. Of course it's a FOMO thing.
I guess that's true. Well, we're not gonna have just letting people know, you don't have to just email us on Tuesdays. You can message us anytime you'd like, and that's kind of what we're gonna do. We have one email today from our ghost lad, Jas's Molasses. It's Jasper.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot happening here, so let's just start from the beginning. Let's begin from the beginning. I'm sorry this is so long. I got carried away, I guess. Now, I'll tell you this. This email doesn't even crack the top 10 of long emails. I think most of those belong to Lotus. Anyway. Side note, I am going by Grace now. Jasper is still good also, though. Definitely nothing to do with any recent movies or books. Amaze.
Fist my bump.
Fist my bump. I am very glad you didn't read my original Black Parade ranking because my opinions were bad as I had only been listening to MCR for a few weeks. Here's my actual ranking that's better with reasoning. I am going to read this from 1 to 14 just because the way that the descriptions are laid out make more sense that way. So he goes, number 1 is Blood, fully out of spite because everyone put it last and I love it a lot. That's how you know it's a kid that's doing it. Grace's Molasses. Number 2 is Mama. I know that you interpret it as trans femme, but I feel like it works for trans masks too, like wishing I was cis and having an iffy relationship with my mom sometimes. And also the bass part is really fun to play. I interpret it as trans femme because that is my experience. I think that if you get anything out of this in a trans mask way, I think that's amazing, and I think that you should hold on to that. I'm just interpreting it in the way that I, with my experience, know how to interpretate it.
Right.
Interpret. I intentionally fucked that up, but I feel like I need to correct myself because I'm the way that I am. Number 3 is Dead. I love how energetic it is. It's probably actually my favorite, but Mama gets second because emotional attachment. 4 is Disenchanted. Partly out of support for not bad. Ooh, we have some contentiousness here. Partially out of support for not bastard man Mikey Way. I would like to say that I was not contributing to the Mikey hate by saying the bass parts were simple. For someone who had just started playing, the parts in Bullets are impressive, even if it's only because they're fast. I can't play most of them, so he gets points for that. It's canon for this podcast. That's bastard man Mikey Way.
Yes.
Sorry. That's just how it's going to be. Number 5 is The End. It's bouncy because 3/4 time and I like it. Number 6 is Teenagers. The guitar feels nice to my brain, and Guard is real for being afraid of teenagers. Number 7 is I Don't Love You. It would be higher, but it's sad and it makes me sad. Great. You know what? I'll take it. I'll allow it. Number 8 is Sleep. IDK how it ended up down here, but I'm not reevaluating. Famous Last Words is number 9. In Adam's words, it is Del Monte child inspiration to me. IDK, it's a good song and I get the message, but it feels kind of generic in the least mean way I could say, though. I still love all of these songs. 10, The Sharpest Lives. It's Too Evil, which... God, I love that. I love that it's too evil. 11, This Is How I Disappear. Another accidental placement that I'm too lazy to change. 12 is Cancer. Too short and too sad. 13, House of Wolves. Again, too evil. Still really good, though. And 14, Welcome to the Black Parade. Overplayed IMO. Damn. Take it a stand. My album rankings.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a wild one. Y'all got any thoughts about that?
That's a ranking.
That certainly is a ranking.
Yeah.
Jasper / Grace. That's crazy. I don't know how I feel about it either. It's too evil and too sad.
Yeah. I think this just kind of like cleared a few of Danny's weird lists almost.
I think so. I think Danny might start getting a pass from now on.
I would say the ranking would be fine because if they didn't say for Welcome to the Black Parade that basically they didn't like it. Like if they're like, oh, it's my least favorite, but it's still good. But man, that's a list.
Yeah, it is certainly a list. Yeah. I also think that one of the songs is up there, the Blood being number 1 because of spite, and 2 of the songs being low because they didn't you didn't feel like ranking them properly.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and bully a child, but my God. All right.
I'm not above it.
Also, my album rankings, since y'all did that. 1, Danger Days. Yay. It's a lot happier than the other ones, as you could probably tell. That's not a happy album at all. It just sounds happy. It's a lot happier than the other ones. You could probably tell from my ranking. I like happy music. Also, you have no idea how excited I am for the deluxe edition. I pre-ordered the vinyl and I got the Zoetrope one. 2 is Revenge. I know I said some songs were too evil, but this album is all very evil and therefore acceptable as an evil vibe. Okay. 3, Time Between Bullets and Black Parade. I just started listening to Bulls a week ago, so I'm unsure on where to put it. Also, you get a meme because I have time, so please enjoy this picture of Gerard Way being compared to the Screaming Hamster meme. That's pretty cool. And enjoy this other meme about Project Hail Mary. Can you perform under pressure? No, but I can try. Bohemian Rhapsody, that's what it says. And I will send that to both of you so you can enjoy them momentarily. Now, this last part is concerning to me. Also, my parents are excited for the Folie à Deux season because they like Fall Out Boy, and I think Patrick Stump is annoying, so we'll see how it goes. So we got parents listening to the podcast now.
Awesome.
You have multiple generations of the same family. Like you're like bringing families together. That's
right.
It's great.
Generational podcast for generational talents.
Most of the time when we're recording, it tears mine apart.
Yeah. I'm excited for Paramore. I've been meaning to listen to them and I haven't yet. So yay. Now I disappear back into my cave and I might reappear at some point. Thank you. I'm gonna say Grace since he's indicated to me that is what he would like to be going by. So I'm gonna say thank you, Grace's Malasis. We're changing the thing, but we're not changing the thing. And that's all we have. If you'd like to email us, you can email us at thediscopod@gmail.com. That's going to be where you can send emails. You could also message us on Instagram at Sad Kids Record Society. Also, you can leave a comment on YouTube. You can leave a comment on The Bad Podcast Plays. And you can leave a review for the podcast. And all those things would be great to have. I guess I should double check.
If it's Instagram, should it then just be called like Tagram?
Tagram.
It's all for Tagram.
Tagram. I guess I should do my due diligence because I don't have the Bad Place pulled up. Let me do my due diligence here. Yeah, no.
Perfect.
On our other podcast that Adam and I are on, our co-host was like, yeah, we don't have any. One time was like, we don't have any. And then he pulled it up and there was like only a couple comments, but they were like from like what, a month before that. He's like, oh, I have not been checking.
Yeah. The problem, so with the other podcast that I'm on, I don't think that Alessio realized that my other co-host realized that you could leave comments on the Bad Podcast Plays. And so we were backlogged on the Bad Podcast Plays for pretty far ways back. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, check all those things out. Boys, are you ready to get into the meat?
Let's fucking go.
Let's do it. Let's get kinky.
Let's get kinky.
Oh.
Nathan quoted as saying emo is a pile of shit.
Oh shit, yeah.
Why is it?
Well, emo as it is today, emo is basically a pair of jeans and a haircut.
No, I can't do that because the last time I tried, because I was about to do the Chapel Roan song, and the last time I did that, it thought that I said the F slur, so I can't do those lyrics anymore. I could say it technically, but I'm not gonna. Anyway, Adam.
Hi.
Elliot.
Hello.
Kinky Boots is a musical with music and lyrics by Cyndi Lauper and a book by Harvey Fierstein. Did y'all know that?
I did.
I learned that it was a book after I learned it was a movie.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a book. I was not aware that it was a book. But it's
based on a true story, too.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. Well, let's find out about it.
Well, based on loosely based.
Based on the 2005 British film Kinky Boots, written by Jeff Dean and Tim Firth, and mostly inspired by true events, the musical tells the story of Charlie Price, having inherited a shoe factory from his father. Charlie forms an unlikely partnership with cabaret performer and drag queen Lola to produce a line of high-heeled boots and save the business. In the process, Charlie and Lola discover they're not so different after all. I'll tell you, so I experienced the musical first before anything else. So I didn't realize that it was based on the movie. And so I remember, I've never seen the movie all the way through, but I remember starting the movie and being pissed off that there wasn't music, and I turned the movie off. So I have no idea if it's like a good movie or not, but I imagine if it's based on the musical that I love so much, is probably not bad.
So, I mean, I haven't seen it for, I guess, almost 20 years, but I remember like liking it then. I remember thinking it was kind of weird to be watching with, not that like my dad's like, he's a great guy, but me and my brother and my dad watching it together. And at the time it was three we thought straight men watching it together, very weird. My brother has since came out as gay, but it was just like, this is an interesting movie. I don't know why my dad picked it to watch, but
Maybe he's trying to tell you or your brother something.
Adam knows my dad very well. He's an interesting dude, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
it is a strange lads movie. I will admit.
Yeah.
Because I remember I still have distinct memories of I was living in England at the time, and so I remember it was 2005, and that was back when you could call Movie Phone, and it would give you the movies that are playing in the times and stuff like that. And so I still remember calling because I was staying with my aunt for the summer, and because she lived in England too. She had married a British man and everything. But I was staying with her for the summer, and she was like, "Oh, call Movie Phone and see what's playing today." And I said, "Okay." So I called Movie Phone, and I said, "Now playing Kinky Boots." And I still remember just that like very monotone, like android British lady saying Kinky Boots over and over again. So I didn't actually see that beginning part until several years later, but yeah. Adam, what's your experience with this musical prior to
I have none. We've talked about this before. Like, I've got a strict rule that I don't really want to listen to music if I haven't seen the musical, and that's kind of what's held us back for a long time.
Yeah, which I think you're making inherently a mistake by not enjoying.
Probably. I've thought about opening that gap up.
Yeah, I have like many thoughts about like Broadway accessibility and like musical accessibility and stuff like that. Yeah. So
I go back and forth. Like, if I know like I am going to see this musical, I try to hold off. Like, I didn't listen to Hamilton until I saw it in like 2019. I did the same thing with Hadestown, because it's like, if I know for sure I am going to seek this out when I can and go see it, I want to go in fresh. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, a lot of times I will like seek it out and listen. Like, another one recently is The Warriors.
Oh yeah,
because they have like, they just announced that is finally coming to Broadway. Lin-Manuel Miranda is bringing, which that is an interesting choice. Speaking of weirdly a weird choice of a musical to base on a movie. There's like, there's an album. There's an album that came out back in like 2024, and it's like, I've been tempted to listen to it, but I want to wait. And it's, my brother and I have said that we are going to try to go to New York once that opens to see it, because that would be really fun.
I think for me, like, I've never really had access to musicals in the same way, so I feel like if I didn't have cast albums, if I didn't listen to cast albums, like, I just wouldn't be into musicals, because like I would just never have had access to them. Like, I've never seen a musical on Broadway. I think I have a very limited experience with singing musicals live when they happen to come to the town that I'm in. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I saw Hadestown in Dayton. I missed out on Hamilton when they were in Dayton, unfortunately, because tickets sold out really fast. So like I've just never really had the opportunity to see a lot of musicals, and so I feel like I would just not know anything about musicals if not for cast albums and listening to the music. So it's interesting to see it from like the opposite direction, because like I couldn't imagine a world where I didn't consume cast albums. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it really does hold me back. I know that there's a lot of good musicals that I've not, taken on. But like I said, I mean, I might open that up. I think the Warriors thing is probably the one that inspired it, because I do love the Warriors movie. And then I do, obviously enjoy Hamilton, where it was like that. Elliot said this is a weird kind of mashup, but it might be one that I dig my teeth into just a little bit and then see where that can go. Because like Wichita is obviously not a big musical town, and then if it's here for like a week, and then it's not coming back around for like 3 to 5 fucking years. So you have a small window to try and see some things.
Yeah, I will say, Lilli, you are probably not, because you're in the Seattle area now, right?
No, I am. Yeah, no, I'm in Seattle.
You probably have great access to local theater.
Yes,
now.
Yeah. There's this town nearish by called Issaquah that has like a really like thriving community theater community.
That's what I try to like seek out is like a lot of like Kansas City has a decent amount of like local theater. And sometimes like that talent can rival like the Broadway. Like I just recently went and saw a community theater version of Shrek the Musical, which Shrek the Musical is actually like really, really solid. Won a couple of Tonys when it came out. Like
I've heard it's pretty good.
I know that I said that I liked the SpongeBob musical, but this is different. Shrek is actually a good musical.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Yes, but you know, Cyndi Lauper did not write a song for Shrek, and she did for SpongeBob. So
she did. Well, she wrote a song for SpongeBob. She also wrote an entire fucking musical here too.
That's what I'm saying.
That's kind of the big deal. This is written. This whole Kinky Boots musical is written by Cyndi Lauper, who is an icon. A lot of the reason why we had interest in covering this musical for this podcast, however, was because we discovered that Brendon Urie, was going to be playing Charlie on Broadway, I believe, for a little run. Did either of you get a chance to see like any clip? I know like there's not like a ton out there for like him doing the show, but there's a couple of like clips and recordings. Have y'all heard him do that?
Yeah,
I think what is it? Is it the soliloquy or the soul of a man? No, it was soul of a man that I was able to actually find a clip of on YouTube. Like you said, there's not a lot, which kind of sucks.
It's surprising too.
How much you just can't find shit.
I would have figured somebody would have bootlegged Brendon Urie on Broadway, right? Like that feels weird. I would feel like Brendon Urie would have bootlegged Brendon Urie on Broadway because he seems like that kind of guy. He's good. Like he's Boyd. I didn't have any particular issues. I think it was Soul of a Man that I heard too. But
it's interesting because we haven't fully gotten into it, but like him as the character of Charlie just blows me away as the character pick. But then of course he can't necessarily play Lola for the person that she is or that he is. But it's just, it probably would be some of the most restrained Boyd that you would have post superhero.
Yeah, I messaged Adam, the guy that plays Charlie in the Broadway HD recording is about as un-Brendon Urie as possible. He's he has like a beard, and he's very like, just like with the character of Charlie Price being so like, you know, like zipped up conservative in a lot of ways, and just like Brendon Urie being Brendon Urie, I don't know how much that would fit, but like you said, like he would have to just be very not him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because like he like you said, like Charlie as a character is very much like buttoned up and like very conservative, so you really like the big like punchiness of Kinky Boots does come from Lola and not Charlie. But I feel like Soul of a Man is like the moment where Charlie gets to like let loose because it's coming after these like 3 soliloquies that he's done and all this other stuff. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Brendon maybe thought, okay, I need to like rein it in and like be Broadway and be the character. And I think he maybe thought that he needed to do less. And I think that his output after that was him making up for that. Honestly.
Well, it was like the most acting that he had to do in that Broadway show was acting like a normal fucking person.
Yeah, that was that's
the theatrics of it.
He had to do his best to maintain his disguise, his human disguise. So I will read a little bit more about. I will put him singing "Soul of a Man" on the show notes because I do have it here. But following the show's conception in 2006, the creative team was assembled by 2010. The original production of Kinky Boots premiered at the Bank of America Theater in Chicago in October 2012. With both direction and choreography by Jerry Mitchell and starring Stark Sands and Billy Porter as Charlie and Lola, respectively. It made its Broadway debut at the Al Hirschfield Theater on April 4th, 2013, following previews that began on March 3rd, 2013. The musical began a U.S. tour in 2014. The Broadway production ended a 6-year run on April 7th, 2019.
Damn.
Having initially been less well received by theater critics and at the box office than another 2013 Broadway production, Matilda the Musical, Kinky Boots entered the 2013 award season as an underdog. However, less than a month after opening, Kinky Boots surpassed this rival with audiences in weekly box office gross and later enjoyed a post-Tony boost in advanced sales. The production earned a season-high 13 nominations and 6 Tony wins, including Best Musical, Best Actor for Billy Porter, and Best Score for Lauper in her first outing as a Broadway songwriter, making her the first woman to win alone in that category. That's crazy. The musical's cast album premiered at number 1 on the Billboard Cast Albums chart and number 51 on the Billboard 200 chart. That's pretty impressive. Making its West End debut in 2015. In 2016, it won 3 Laurence Olivier Awards, including Best New Musical. Wow. Hell yeah. That's pretty cool.
I think like losing out kind of fame to the Matilda musical makes me like envision Lola getting spun around by her Kinky Boots, like Trunchbull throwing that girl around by her pigtails. Like that's just all I see.
And I will say, Lilli, I don't know if you have listened to any Matilda. That is a hard listen.
I have tried in the past. It is a hard listen. I feel like that's definitely one that is served better by seeing it. Yeah, I would have to imagine. Yeah, but it is not an easy thing to listen to.
One of the big songs is like Revolting Children. Yeah, like saying like they're disgusting and they're like, you know, fighting back, revolting, a little play on words, but they do it in like such a Cockney British accent, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So I'm glad Kinky Boots came soaring back. But both British, very British heavy musicals, which is weird because like Matilda, the movie, I know the Roald Dahl I think is British, but the movie was very much not British. And then they decided to go back to British for the Matilda musical, which was interesting.
Crypt Keeper alert! Crypt Keeper alert!
Entrance number 1. She just got home.
Number 1. How many could we possibly?
Hi, Elliot.
Hi.
Rude. We get to see each other in person.
I'm very excited for Evanescence, and I love you.
I'm so pumped.
Is it for Evanescence?
So not pumped. Yeah, that's next weekend. Next Sunday is when we're gonna get to see Evanescence. So
I heard Evanescence at the mall yesterday.
Nice.
I heard Bring Me to Life at the mall. Oh,
here we go.
We have Crip Child.
Here comes somebody else to talk about fucking Evanescence in my goddamn ear.
Yeah. I want to go so bad.
Come on, the more the merrier. We got lawn seats, so.
I'm ruining your weekend because we can't leave until fucking.
It's not more the merrier because I'm not fucking merry about this at all.
That's fine. I just won't go. And I'll be sad and depressed.
Wow.
And I'll.
It's basically child abuse.
Yeah, she's gonna have to go.
Yeah, basically child abuse.
You're technically a child, right?
She's an adult. She's a tiny. She's just a small adult.
Technically an adult, still living under this child abuse. Still your child.
Yeah, right.
All right, I tried. All right, love you, bye.
Thank you.
Trying to end the podcast. God damn. I went to go look at Jerry Mitchell, his Wikipedia page to kind of see like what he's done. So he's done the 2000 revival of Rocky Horror Picture Show. He's done Hairspray, Legally Blonde the musical, Kinky Boots, like we said, Pretty Woman the musical, Devil Wears Prada the musical in 2024. He's been nominated for a lot of outstanding choreography awards. But the thing that I really want to talk about here is the personal life section. There's a lot of like the early life and education. There's a whole paragraph about him, career, several paragraphs. Personal life. He is gay.
just three little words.
He is gay with 2 citations. In October 2022, he married fellow actor Ricky A. Schroeder.
Also with 2 citations.
Non-primary source needed, apparently. I don't know what that means, but if you have a primary source, why would you need a non-primary source? That doesn't seem like it makes any sense. But so we'll talk a little bit about the development, the background, the creation. So, like we said, it's based on the 2005 British film of the same name, which was in turn inspired by a 1999 episode of the BBC Two documentary television series Trouble at the Top. It followed the true story of Steve. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm having coughing fits. Gay.
It was right on the forehead.
No one will take it.
Yep. It follows the true story of Steve Pateman, who was struggling to save his family-run shoe factory from closure, and decided to produce fetish footwear for man under the brand name Divine Footwear. Dale Roth, a Tony Award-winning producer, saw the film at the 2006 Sundance Film Festival and fell in love with its heart and soul. She felt that its themes resonated and thought that the story had potential as a source material for a musical. Independently, Hal Luftig saw the film in London and agreed that its heart and humanity and bigger than life leading lady, in quotes here, would translate well to musical theatre. Within a year, Roth secured the rights to adapt the film to stage and partnered with Luftig, a Tony and Olivier Award-winning producer. By mid-2008, Roth and Luftig were in discussions with a potential director, Jerry Mitchell, but they still had not found the writers. When Roth sent Mitchell the DVD of the film, he was enthusiastic about it. Roth and Luftig hired Mitchell to direct and Harvey Fierstein to write the book. Mitchell knew that Fierstein and Cyndi Lauper were friends, and he thought they would make a good team to create the musical. Fierstein agreed and eventually approached Lauper to write the songs because he saw in the adaptation an opportunity to work with someone with a big musical range, somebody who could write club music along with show tunes. Lauper joined the creative team in June 2010. Her last project before Kinky Boots had been the album Memphis Blues, which Fierstein was working on Newsies. While Fierstein was working on Newsies when he began Kinky Boots. The work marked Lauper's debut as a musical theater songwriter, although she had some theatrical experience, having performed on Broadway in the 2006 Roundabout Theater Company production of The Three Penny Opera. Among Fierstein's prior experiences were works about drag queens, La Cage à Feuilles, that's probably not how you say that, and Torch Song Trilogy. It's French, I don't fucking know. Lauper has said that she identifies with drag queens. Do you have the Wikipedia pulled up, Adam?
I do.
Mama needs a break. Do you want to continue reading for me?
Yep, give me 1 minute.
We're going to need you to do that in less time than that, brother.
You got 1 minute. Because I was down lower. Drag queens, Lauper is, said that she identifies with, cool. All right, cool. Fierstein and Lauper had both, we got it. Fierstein and Lauper had both gained previous critical acclaim and honors in their respective fields. Fierstein had won 4 Tonys, acting and writing awards for Torch Song Trilogy, an acting award for Hairspray, and 1 for writing the book of La Cage. Lauper is a chart-topping singer, songwriter, and actress who had won Grammy, Emmy, and many other awards for her songs and performances.
And now a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee as of December 2025.
Yeah. Real quick, do you guys know what that La Cage is?
I do not.
Well, it is the the more popular adaptation for most people is The Birdcage. With Robin Williams.
Oh, that is oh, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. I did not know that. I love The Birdcage.
So that's
Birdcage is a great movie.
Yeah. So this was the Broadway musical that came first.
Okay. That is good to know. I'm going to have to check that out. Here's what I love about Wikipedia, by the way, is so I go to the Wikipedia page for La Cage aux Folles, and it says French pronunciation, and then it throws me a bunch of letters that I've never seen before in my life. What am I supposed to do with this? That's a fucking 3. La Kai 3. Oh, like what is that? What is that?
It's Eldritch horror.
It's Eldritch. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Now I'm in because they have. So this is sort pomme off vowel. It's a vowel. They should have fucking. You can play the fucking vowels on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But they don't. Anyway, continue.
Bullshit. All right. Fierstein noted a change in focus between the film about the saving of a factory and the musical, which include drag queens singing as they pass along the assembly line. He said the main difference is that the musical is at its core about two young men who come from seemingly opposite worlds who figure out that they have a lot in common, beginning with the need to stand up to their dads. Lauper's inspirations range from the musical South Pacific and West Side Story to Aaron Copland's Appalachian Spring and singer Lana Del Rey.
What?
What the fuck? That's a
I'm
hell
gonna
of
be
an
honest with you, I
inspiration
didn't even
wheel.
think I realized that Lana Del Rey was active. But I guess if it was like in 20, yeah, I guess that does make sense. I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. In a broadcast interview with Patrick Healy of the New York Times, Lauper and Fierstein said that in adapting the film, they stressed themes of community and the universality of the father-son bond as vehicles to explore the issues of tolerance and self-acceptance. Kinky Boots was given a reading on October 6, 2011. Lauper was active. What the fuck does that? I don't care. What does given a reading mean? I don't want to think that I'm that dumb. Somebody just read it?
I think that would be like, maybe like a table read or like
a table read?
That would be my guess. Yeah, like a table read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody's just reading all these words and they're like, what the fuck? Lauper was actively
a tarot card reading. Will this be a successful musical?
Ooh, the tower. Not good.
Yeah, don't make this. Lauper was actively engaged in refining the material once the cast began readings. And hey, if I'd have kept reading, guess what? I'd have answered my own question. In January 2012, Roth announced that the show would be workshopped that month and that Stark Sands and Billy Porter had been cast in the starring roles. In August 2012, the producers announced the Broadway opening date of April 4th, 2013.
Adam, I want you to read the entire synopsis starting with Act 1.
No, please don't make it do that. Right. Holy shit. Billy Porter, I will never forgive for fully not understanding the point of cabaret. There's a clip of him. So there's a clip of him, and I think primarily he wanted the same because Adam Lambert very famously like yells at the audience. When the she wouldn't look Jewish at all line is said, and it's supposed to be this thing where it's like it's supposed to be a shock, and you're supposed to get the audience like giggling, and then when you say that line, it's supposed to be like this gut punch moment where it's like, oh fuck, that's not normal. Yeah. And so Adam Lambert, I think, also kind of didn't understand that was the point, but it just like there's a famous clip of him like yelling at the crowd and being like, hey Bob, and like chastising them for laughing, right? And so Billy Porter plays the MC in a production of Cabaret fairly recently, and I think is trying less to understand the moment and more to get a viral moment like Adam Lambert had, and it fucking sucks. And then when that happens, people start talking about Billy Porter and how much he kind of sucks as a person. So Billy Porter's on my shit list right now. Yeah, I think. So I want to ask really quickly. So this is a 2-act musical. I think there's something like, how many songs? There's 16 songs. Do you guys have a favorite song from Kinky Boots? Because I know what mine is.
Elliot, I'll let you go.
Mine is, I'm going to cheat and say 2, but for a good reason, because you can't really have one without the other. And mine's Charlie's soliloquy into Step 1.
Sure. Oh, Step 1 is really, really good.
Yeah, those just like, I mean, because they are like literally just, this is not a Hamilton style musical. There's actually a lot of talking in between, but those two are just like in the production are back to back, and they're so good. Yeah. So,
Adam, what about you?
I mean, it's the most obvious choice that I could make for me, so it's going to be Sex is in the Heel. Just because it's such a fun song, and I think like the vocal kind of ups and downs, especially in the recording that we watched, like I think it's a good, fun ride. Like there's really kind of no two beats that feel the same for a while, and then they kind of get to the chorus and you get in a good cadence. It's just kind of a fun song that I think really just drives the whole damn point of what they're trying to do here, really. But then like on the opposite end is you have that freaky little girl or the freaky little woman of Lauren. So like the history of Wrong Guys, like the reprise of that is really good. Like I love how it's kind of a little emotional moment that just shows like victory for her as much as Charlie, and it's just like a fun little bit. Because she is such a little fucking freak. Like she is such a little weirdo. It's hilarious.
Real quick before Lilli, you get yours, a fun side note on that one. Annalee Ashford, who is the original for that, I got to see her play, I'm blanking on the name, in the revival of Sweeney Todd.
Ooh. Yeah, she plays Mrs. Lovett. I looked over at that.
She was Mrs. Lovett, and it was Josh Groban with Sweeney Todd. And my wife had a work conference in New York City, and we decided we're like, we weren't even Josh Groban fans, but we're like Josh Groban as Sweeney Todd. And then we went and saw it. And now we are Josh Groban fans because he was freaking incredible in that role. Yeah. So
I like Josh Groban a lot because he's fucking hilarious. But that sounds really cool. Josh Groban as Sweeney Todd sounds really cool.
It is. Yeah, they released an album with that, and you should take a listen because his voice is just so powerful in that role. Definitely plays it a little differently than Johnny Depp does in the movie.
I bet.
Sure.
I didn't know a ton about.
I've seen that, so I can listen to it.
Yeah, I didn't know a ton about Sweeney Todd when the movie came out. It was not on my radar necessarily, and so for a long time I was afraid to watch the movie because I thought it was going to be like a gore fest because I knew kind of what it was about, and so I realized that that was probably him. Once I got more into like theater and like understanding like what that was, like I was like, oh, I probably should just watch this, huh? So I'm kind of all over the place with this musical because it's all very good. I think when I was a little bit younger, when I was kind of first getting into it, I really liked Take What You Got a lot. I really like In This Corner, just like the kind of like the slowness and like the meticulousness of it. I think especially as I've been re-listening to it and stuff for this, I think that Not My Father's Son is my favorite song.
Yeah.
As
I was watching, when that song came on, I was like, oh, this is gonna, like, when listening to this is gonna hit Lilli because you talked about everything with your dad and stuff, and I was like, oh wow, that's very very relatable, I'm sure, to you.
It's definitely one of those things where it's just like, especially like, I think also re-listening to this after like everything that did go down with my dad too makes it really kind of difficult, but it made me emotional anyway, but then everything happened, and so it makes me extra emotional. And again, like, it isn't about like transness necessarily, because it is like Lola does not identify as a woman, that is, he's a drag queen and all this other stuff, but like I think it's very much applicable, where I think going back to the email we read where it was like I know you interpreted Mama as trans femme, but it could be associated with trans, like this is very much for like meant to be designed for specific people, but I think the message of itself is very much like present for any type of person. And I think especially in the same way that like you should have raised a baby girl, should have been a better son, hits me and Mama is like, this whole I'm not my father's son, I'm not the image of what he dreamed of, hits me in a very very similar way, where it's like, fuck yeah, well, literally, I guess. But, I think that's got to be like my top, just because of like how emotional it hits me and how much it like really does. It's like, it feels like it's also the emotional turning point of the musical as well, because that's where Charlie and Simon from Clacton get on the same page and start making boots and like doing the stuff. So
But what is interesting with that is, and I completely forgot because, you know, I've listened to the album so much, but like watching the whole musical, I'd forgotten. I was like, okay, now they're on the same page with Not My Father's Son. But if you watch the musical, and I don't know how much we're going to get into like the story of it, Charlie goes back to being an asshole after that.
Yeah.
Completely and totally. Like, did you forget the beautiful duet that you guys sang together?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
And I know that's like pressures of, you know, what he was going through and stuff like that. But I was like, damn, I had completely forgotten because it had been a while since I had like seen the whole plot of it.
It's very easy to, because he's like, they have like that disagreement there. And then you got fucking Hold Me in Your Heart where they're fucking leaving and he's calling Lola on the phone to like apologize for being a dick. And it's just like, you kind of forget that like he doesn't actually get that much better after this beautiful duet. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but this is one, I mean, it is like looking down this track list, I don't think there, usually for me on musicals, there's like a couple songs that I'm like, not my favorite, but I love every song on this musical. There's like,
it's really good.
And this is one where like listening to the songs are good, listening to the whole album, but also just like in isolation, a lot of these songs are just like, you don't need to like experience that full journey to just like listen to the jam. And I think that kind of, I mean, makes sense with Cyndi Lauper, you know, being such a pop icon for decades, writing this, that definitely tracks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think like Hold Me in Your Heart for being the big final emotional beat and the plot twist that it carries for the story itself is also phenomenal. Like when you talk about coming right off of the discussion of, you know, I'm not my father's son. And then like you think one thing and then you get to that song and you learn a completely different thing. And you're like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. And it's just like being the emotional weight of the finale basically is what makes that part intense. Because then from there it's just like, hey, rah rah, let's have fun. But like during those 3 minutes you're like, oh shit, okay. I will say that watching the West End production and then listening to the Broadway cast sing it, I'm really torn on which Lola I prefer, and I'm really stuck on which Charlie I prefer. Mm-hmm. Like I think in both of them that same Lauren character is like still just a little fucking weird, but like between those two, I imagine that if I listen to them in a different, like in the different rotation of listening to Broadway first, I'd probably feel stronger for Broadway, but like listening to these actors sing really kind of made me think, oh, okay, so this is really as good as it can get. And then it kind of was like, I don't want to talk shit on Billy Porter that he was kind of a wet fart as Lola, but like I think especially after seeing it acted out, it just enhanced that, you know, experience of listening and watching and just hearing one actor sing the songs. And I really did like the Lola of the West End production.
Mm-hmm. I do think I like Stark Sands. Stark Sands was the Broadway Charlie. Yeah. I do think I like him. I like Broadway Charlie better than West End Charlie. I think Killian Donnelly is the name of the West End Charlie. But I do think I like Matt Henry more than Billy Porter as Lola. Yeah. For that flip. So it's interesting to be like, I would love to see a version of this where Stark Sands and Matt Henry do it together. Like I would love to see that. But yeah, it's interesting when because I feel like the West End version and the Broadway version are like both pretty famous at this point. Like I think people, and it's interesting to have like two competing versions like that, you know, you have to kind of like think across. Yeah.
Well, and I think looking down here at the Broadway replacements, like there's not a whole lot of Charlies that stand out to me aside from the one that was on the West End. And then you've got Brendon Urie. And then you have some names that I don't know that I know other people would ultimately recognize. Like there was an American Idol winner. But then for Lola, it's like
wait, time out. You don't know fucking who David Cook is?
I know who David Cook. Like, yes, there's a few of them. And like I said, like definitely American Idol. Like what else did David Cook do after American Idol?
Not really anything, but I'm just saying, like that's crazy. He's an American Idol winner. I was like, what the fuck? The fucking lead singer of Neon Trees played Charlie in there for a little bit.
Yeah, that one does stand out. But then
Tyler
for like
Glenn.
fucking Lola, you've got Wayne Brady.
Mm-hmm. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch for some shoes? God damn. Todrick Hall also.
Todrick Hall.
I have seen clips of Wayne Brady as Lola, and he does a really good job. I mean,
I'm sure
he's been in a lot of as much as like funny, like Wayne Brady. He's been in a lot. Like he's been Aaron Burr in Hamilton too. Like he's done a lot of Broadway.
Interesting.
There's another guy that played. Hold on, what's his name?
Jesus.
The guy Michael James Scott played Aaron Burr. Michael James Scott, who I knew him as originally as, and I know he's been in other stuff, but he played the genie in the Aladdin musical. And so I remember when he got cast as Aaron Burr for a little while. That was interesting. I know isn't Leslie Odom back as Burr right now? I'm pretty sure. He was if it's not right now, it's like right around now. Yeah. And then what's his name that plays Washington is coming back. Chris Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends, I just had lunch with her today, and she's going in the fall, and she's going to get to see Chris Jackson as Washington. I was like, that's very cool.
Nice.
Damn.
I think we can get into the plot a little bit. We've got this plot summary here on the Wikipedia, so we won't like do a reading. But like I said, we've got
real quick fun side note. I'm recording on my work laptop, and as I'm a teacher, I have to do everything. I can't search anything kinky. Like literally the word kinky gets blocked everywhere. So like Wikipedia, I have to have it like on my phone here to like follow along with you guys, because
I've been seeing you like looking down here.
I'm not disinterested. It's like the only way I can look up anything Kinky Boots related.
Just do what Adam used to do and just fucking print out papers that you can rifle through.
That's right.
Facing to the wall. So we start off this musical with this intro, the theme for Price and Sons that leads into the most beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. So you kind of get this intro to the fact that this kid named Charlie is the heir of a shoe a manufacturing company called Price and Son. It's been in his family for generations, and it's his dad kind of telling him that like he's next in line. And this is in the lovely town of Northampton, England, where I have been. Not good. You also
what did I do?
No, I'm just saying Northampton. I was talking shit about Northampton quietly. It's fine. So you get this perspective about how like he's kind of like he doesn't really want to do this. He's kind of bored of shoes. He doesn't really like shoes. Then you flip to this other perspective where you have another young boy in London, very fascinated by these like very vibrant red women's heels, and his dad is not happy about that. And you kind of get these kind of dueling perspectives about shoes as they grow up. And so you get to kind of learn more about Charlie and how he wants to Charlie's dad is like on the way out, and he's hoping that Charlie will like take over the family business. And Charlie's like, he's with this fucking bitch named Nicola. All my homies hate Nicola. And he wants to do like real estate in London. And it's this whole thing.
Okay, I will say, like, not to jump ahead, but it's like one big thing, like in the plot is like in Nicola's defense, like Charlie seems like he's very much been like, I don't want to do the shoe stuff. I don't want to do this. I want to go off to London. And then from her perspective, it seems like he has this weird change of heart and just like leaves her in the dust. Like, yes, she is like fantasizing over these really expensive shoes and stuff like that. But I do think that it was just kind of like, from her perspective, yes, she's just kind of like the villain, and like she brings up like the stuff she does later and stuff. But like in her slight defense, like he was like, no, I don't want to do it at all. And then he's like basically later on like ghosting her for like standing her for dates and stuff like that for the shoe company he didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
So, he has a shoe epiphany.
He's a shoe epiphany.
He has a whole soliloquy about it and everything. He has multiple soliloquies.
3 whole soliloquies about all of that. No, I'll give you that. Like, it's very much like, I think it's one of those things where, like, I think her as a person, she's very like vapid in her personality, and so I think it's very easy, and I think they very much position her as somebody to hate. But I also think that, again, Charlie has a lot of growing to do throughout this musical in a lot of ways, and I do think he does kind of leave her in the lurch in a way. And so when you're that type of person who doesn't quite understand like why the world can't revolve around you, and you suddenly are just like, you have plans and you think plans are solid, and then from your perspective, your flaky boyfriend has abandoned you for fucking shoes after he said I don't want this. Like, it's very
and he won't even buy you the shoes you want. Like,
right, exactly.
Do it yourself.
Right, gotta. So they move to London. He's doing marketing and shit, and then his dad dies. Charlie's dad dies. So he hustles home. The factory's not doing good. The factory's basically about to close. And I think the issue here is that while the shoes are very good quality, they kind of are like, nobody really wants
trash.
They're kind of trash shoes. They're ugly. They are too expensive. Like, there's a bunch of shit. And people aren't buying them. And so he is now kind of tied to this sense of duty to this family legacy to like save the factory. And so even though that he doesn't want to do it, he feels like he needs to do it to like save his family's legacy, right? So he goes back. A lot of the employees are very not happy to see him. They don't get why he abandoned his dad in the first place. They're very much not happy about it. And so we get to the song "Take What You Got," where he's talking to his friend Harry, who is a shoe salesman, and they're in this pub, and basically Harry tells Charlie not to fight the inevitable. Just take what you got and do what you can, and move on. And so that's kind of what we have there. So we kind of go on. He leaves the pub, and he sees somebody getting assaulted by 2 drunk men. So he tries to stop that from happening. He gets knocked out himself. And he kind of...
Not to Chumbawamba, but he does get back up again.
He does get back up again, but he gets back up again in a kind of a club, like a little loud little club. And you discover that this was not a woman as he thought. It was Lola, a drag queen, who I don't know. Is it revealed pretty early on that this is the same boy that was from the beginning, or is this something that gets revealed later with the Not My Father's Son? I can't remember if this is something that you're supposed to know.
I think it's just like implied at first. I don't know.
Right. Well, from the beginning, you get kind of a flashback of the 2 young boys.
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
And that's really just, hey, these 2 characters obviously don't look alike, so therefore you're going to assume that they are the ones that grow up into these individuals.
So you kind of learn here a little bit more about Lola and Lola's Angels and like the troupe that they do and stuff like that. And that's the song Land of Lola. And so Charlie is kind of noticing during the performances he's watching that the heeled boots that they're using to perform are not designed to support the weight of a man. They are women's boots, and so they're not really meant to be used for this purpose. And so Lola's like, well, I mean, we kind of have to do what we can, because the cost of custom footwear is not something that we can afford, and we have to have the shoes, darling. The shoes are the most important part of any drag queen's act, of course, as you know.
They're not making size 14 men's heels.
You know what? I've noticed this. Just throwing that out there. Wow. I found like a couple of really nice pairs of women's boots that do for me. I think my feet are slimming out because of the estrogen. So I'm fitting into women's shoes pretty nicely these days. I like that. But yeah, so Charlie is kind of like having ideas, and he has to go start like firing people, and including this woman named Lauren, who she just kind of like gets really upset with him and is just like telling him this, like, look, there are other shoe factories around that are doing well because they are serving a market that needs to be served. And so why don't we just do that? And so she has a big moment there, and this is kind of where he starts having this idea, and he invites Lola to come to the factory to kind of look around and help him design a woman's boot that can be worn by a drag queen, by a male. And so this is now Charlie's soliloquy as he's kind of getting this idea into step one. Which again, step one is so
you got fucking layoffs at Sony, you got layoffs at Microsoft, you got fucking layoff at shoe manufacturers. Like, what the hell?
Layoffs at Price and Son, and I tell you what, you can't take the disk drive out of a shoe. That much.
You wouldn't download a shoe.
I would download a shoe. I swear to God, I really would. So, they get to the factory. Lola does not like this first draft of the boot, and so Lola kind of designs this kind of draft of the boot. So this is the song "Sex Is in the Heel" that Adam likes so much.
Yes,
explaining that like the heel is the most important part of this boot. Everything rides on the heel, and it has to be like the important part.
I even like in that song where they explain like biologically why high heels are so important of like boosting the derriere up and everything like that. Like it's a very, like, all the songs are very fun, but I just like how like all the different cast members kind of come in together and like fun the different little parts of the song.
Yeah, because it's like it's very much like an ensemble song. Like you got Lola singing, George is singing, all the angels come in, Charlie, everybody's kind of singing. Yeah, the ensemble songs are some of my favorite ones. I think also, I think like the duets are really good, but I think about like Raise You Up and Just Be also is like an incredible song as well, because it's just everybody coming in to kind of sing it. But so George, who was the factory manager, kind of steps in, and he's like, we can do this. Let's make this kind of practical. And Charlie is just like, okay, we can do this. Just stay until there's a footwear show in Milan. Italy in 3 weeks. So let's design this new line of kinky boots. And we could save the factory with that. And so Lola is not convinced. He's already he's getting flack from Dawn, and who's the foreman of the factory, and some of the other workers and everything. So he's not super happy about this, but he's like, okay, you know what, Charlie, you've groveled. Let's do this. We'll make these boots.
And one thing I really like about the plot, that like showing like how ingrained all of these workers are together. It's like said that like Dawn and Lauren and Charlie are like childhood friends.
Yeah.
They've like known each other like their entire lives. So it's like not just like laying off these employees, but it's like literally these people that are like basically family to him, knowing the whole life. So I guess that does show like a lot of motivation for just that 180.
Yeah. It's also like, you kind of also get this idea too, where it's like you have this like, so it's that, but then at the same time you kind of like get this perspective that Lola is feeling not appreciated and kind of uncomfortable in the factory, because it is very much like, I've seen this my entire life, these like very like stuck in their ways, like blue collar workers who just can't fathom something different. And so it's very much an interesting, like that whole song is very much like pinging all of these things together, and it's very, very interesting there. So Charlie comes out and he's like, okay, we're going to start doing boots. That's what we do now. He promotes Lauren, thanks her for like her idea and like getting everything going. And then she is like, oh no, I am falling in love with this man. Mm-hmm. And that's not great. And she talks about like how she's had such a bad track record with Ben, and she's very much she's not thrilled about this.
And that song in particular, like with the physical comedy, like the actress that plays the West End version, yes. Mm-hmm. And she's just like so good at being so weird and kooky. And at one point she like grabs like the air gun that they used to like spray off the shoes, and she's using it to try to like be dramatic and have her hair flowing in the wind and all that stuff, and just like going wild with it. And it's like, I think Adam, you said that was probably your favorite one or one of them. And it's like,
that's the next one that she does. She's like fucking little Gollum. She's like little girl Gollum. It's fucking, she is so unsettling. It's hilarious.
And just like how she just like is so like, you know, in her own head and like arguing with herself and everything in the song. It's so much fun.
I also think too, I think the funny thing about this specific song too is that when, generally speaking, when they record cast albums, they do their best to minimize the noise of the crowd. Mm-hmm. They like the laughing. They put the laughter in there for this because it's very much an important part. Like it's all slapstick and very like comedic. Is a very important part of the process. And so it's in the cast album. It's rare to hear audience reactions, but you do hear. It's almost like a laugh track in a lot of ways because it's just like you're not used to hearing it. But yeah. So Lola then shows up wearing men's clothes. This entire time you've seen Lola in drag. Lola shows up in like, I believe a suit, like shows up in like men's clothes and is kind of not taken well by Dawn and all the other people in the warehouse. And so Lola goes and hides in the bathroom, and Charlie is trying his best to kind of like figure out what's going on and like comfort Lola. And Lola kind of tells Charlie that, you know, my dad wanted me to be a boxer. Like I have boxing training. Like I wanted to do this, but he disowned me after I showed up to boxing drag. Yeah. Which is like amazing. Like, I would love to see drag queen boxing. That sounds incredible.
I bet that's a thing. That
it has to be. For as much like drag queen everything that the fucking government's freaking out about, like you have to admit that you gotta assume there's drag queen boxing somewhere. So they kind of discover that they have these like really complex feelings about their dads, and like trying to like they find this common ground together about like how they were expected to be a certain way and they never were, and so this is not my father's son.
Just real quick, I did pull it up. There is a professional MMA fighter that, while he doesn't show up in drag to MMA fights, he's like a very good professional MMA fighter, I guess. Diego Jurijo. And then by night he performs on the Southern California Drag Queen by Lolo Pistola is his name.
Lolo Pistola is a great
Lola
Pistola is a great drag name. Holy cow, that rules.
Maybe not drag boxing, but a fighter that is also a drag queen is pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, that rules. Okay. Yeah, so at the end of Not My Father's Son, you discover, you know, they're just like, you know what, let's reintroduce ourselves. And so Lola introduces himself as Simon from Clacton, which is his given name where he's from. And Charlie goes, let's make boots. And it's supposed to be this like really like nice connecting moment. And again, you
Charlie forgets
immediately. Yeah. So Nicola now has shown up. Her boss has now shown up, and they kind of have this plan for the factory that her boss Richard has kind of figured out. And so the idea here is that they want to close the factory down, convert it to condos, And Charlie is like, no, we're not going to do this. But then he kind of discovers that his dad was like, yep, before he died, he agreed for this to happen. And Charlie, you kind of guess that because he thinks that Charlie doesn't want to do it, then there's nobody to take over the factory. So he's just going to sell the place and shut it down. And as Charlie's like, no, we're not selling, we're not doing this. And the first pair of boots is created, and there everybody's in the factory celebrating their victory here with the song "Everybody Say Yeah," which is another great song.
One thing, again, I'm going to sound like the biggest Charlie hater here, but he does some things that kind of piss me off.
Charlie Price.
I think it's right here when he's like, the line is like, you never really had enough faith in me, you gave up the factory. And it's like, dude, you made it very clear before he died. Like, he died thinking you wanted nothing to do with the factory. So it's not about him not having faith. He made it clear that he wanted to have faith in you. Like, before he died, he's there and he's like, oh, you sure you don't want to do this? And he's like, no, I'm off to London.
Yeah.
So that
do
one
marketing
is like,
in London, and you fucking. So like, yeah, it's not even that. It's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not gonna. If somebody tells you how they feel, believe them. It's one of those things where it's just like, okay, I've pestered him his whole life, and he's not going to be here to do this. I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to believe my son, and he did, to his credit. And so Charlie being upset that his dad didn't believe in him is crazy, because like, brother, you didn't believe in you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Be like me surprising my dad with like, I do love dead people, actually.
Yeah. Imagine you come back and be like, I want to be a fucking mortician. Like, that'd be crazy. So that was the end. Everybody Say Yeah is the end of Act 1. You get into Act 2, which is a reprise of the Price and Sons theme. And then you kind of get into what's going on here. There's still some trouble here where a lot of the people in the factory are still not super happy about the way that the production has changed. Dawn especially is very much not happy and is very much making Lola's life not welcome and kind of hell. And Lola is like, hey, let's actually see what women want, which is the song What a Woman Wants. And it's just like, I think that most of the women want someone like me more than someone like you. And then we get to In This Corner, which is like this, like almost a fight song, like hyping up a boxing match where Lola's like, look, we're going to see who the better man is. If Dawn wins, Lola has to do anything that Dawn says. And Dawn will do the same thing if Lola wins. And so Dawn is like, okay, you fight me in a boxing match, we'll do it down the pub. And Charlie is like, oh fuck, this is a trained boxer.
Yeah. And the song itself, like rewatching it, I forgot how, like, again, talking about like the physical comedy involved, like them like showing like the slow motion like punches in there, and like, you know, the drag queens are there and like the factory workers and everything like that. It's just like a very like kind of like silly, I mean, it's a silly situation, and I think they do it like really well to where it's like a very, very funny song while still like bringing up like a good point.
Yeah. Right. And I actually think I was mistaken. I think that regardless, they'll do a challenge. And I think both of them have to do something for the other one to prove they're a man. And so, so they do the fight. Lola very much could easily win this fight, but then lets Dawn win. And Dawn is asking Lola.
Because I think that's what Dawn wants. That's like his choice of like each of them have to do something for him. Dawn is like, you have to fight me. I think. Yeah.
Right. So it's interesting that she like that Lola throws this fight, but I think to like, of course, give him his victory. So he then, no matter what the agreement was, like definitely now has to give his all into what Lola presents. But like, it was one of those moments where you can kind of see how it's going to go. But God damn it, I really just wish that Lola whipped his ass.
Just
like,
knocked his fucking
did there for a
out.
while, but I just really wish it was like one fucking haymaker and be like, you're out, dude.
Yeah. But I also think that like coming in and like showing that like very clearly Lola could have won this fight and then throwing the fight.
Yeah.
Because Dawn does realize, oh, Lola let me win, and ask Lola like, why did you let me win? And Lola's like, well, I didn't want to humiliate you in front of your friends. So, I'm doing you a favor. And so Lola's challenge for Dawn is to accept someone for who they are. And I think there's something interesting about like Adam said, like it would have been really fun to just see Lola whip his ass, but also like there's almost something more satisfying about privately letting this person know it's like, look, you would have been fucked if I actually wanted to do something here, and like letting that sit in the back of their head like, oh no. I think there's something very personally satisfying about that. So
yeah. I think the accept someone for who they are, like seeing the wheels kind of turn in Don's head, and he questions a couple times. He's like, what does this mean? And then Lola says exactly what it says. And then kind of repeats it back to Lola, like he still doesn't understand. And I love the comeuppance of that moment that we'll get to here shortly.
Yeah. Well, and he specifically says like anybody, and Lola is like anybody. It doesn't have to be Lola or one of her angels. It has to, and it ends up not being like,
I will say the payoff for that is really nice. I like the payoff for that a lot. So you kind of figure out Charlie is like super stressed out after this. He doesn't think, he's panicking because Milan's coming up. He's very angry. He doesn't think anything is right. He's making everybody redo things. Like he thinks everything's being shoddily done and put together. Around the time Nicola shows up and breaks up with him because she's kind of fed up with him being obsessed with the factory.
Implied to be cheating on him as well with her boss.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And then you kind of find out that Lola has been making production decisions without talking to Charlie. And Charlie kind of finds out that Lola asked his angels to be the model for the boots in Milan as opposed to hiring professional models. And Charlie freaks out, lashes out, yells at him, humiliates him in front of everybody, and Lola bolts. And everybody leaves. And then this is when Charlie kind of has this like heart to heart with himself about like the legacy of the factory and him and what it means to be his own person. And that's when you get Soul of a Man.
Back to me shitting on Charlie Price.
Yeah.
He even says in that, he's like, no, we need women to wear these boots. It's Milan. And it's like, sir, you are not making, the whole point of these boots is they're not supposed to be like that part. And I think it's just like him like panicking, like, oh, not only is this like a lot, but like him like deciding to do, and it's like, oh, it's Milan. And then I think someone, it might have been Lauren, is like, you've never even been to Milan, you don't even know what that means, but like he's so in his own head about like how important this has to be, to where he's like basically like saying like, oh no, we're just gonna have women wear them, like we want to, put our best foot forward here. And it's like
completely defeats the point.
Right.
Like you're making, like the whole impetus for you doing this was that you wanted to make heels that would support men's weight so they can do drag performance in these heels. So like, what the fuck are you even saying right now?
Yeah.
Well, like he's so far up his own ass because he can't even just see the favor that Lola's doing. Like he literally says that now you don't need to do hair and makeup. You just have to pay for their flights. They're not going to ask you for a damn thing at this point. They just want to go and wear these boots. And Charlie's like now
reap the rewards of the work that they've all been doing. Like, which I don't think is a big ask at all.
No. And then we lead into the manner or muppet of this musical.
Yeah. So Soul of a Man again is this like again, this heart to heart with himself where he's like, oh fuck, I need to be like my own person. I need to fucking calm down essentially.
And it's like, you know that Soul of a Man is the song that Brendon Urie heard and was like, I need to do this musical.
Yes.
Like in my own headcanon, it's like Brendon Urie heard that song and he's like, yes, that's me. I'm going to do this musical. And then like didn't pay any attention to the rest of what the character would imply or do and be like, and then he shows up and he's like, oh,
I got
like Adam said, he's like, oh, I have to act like a normal person. Fuck.
Yeah. Because like I'd be curious what like that song would sound like all boyded up, but like also it would kind of betray the character and like what has been presented. Like it's a good song, it's like a powerful song, and Stark Sands and whoever's singing, like they do sing that song, but it's just like that's not what I would consider late stage Brendon Urie at that point. So after Soul of a Man, Lauren kind of finds Charlie, tells him to come back to the factory, and you kind of find out that Dawn has, persuaded all the workers to come back to work. They've sacrificed pay so that they can make sure the boots are ready in time for the show in Milan. And Charlie is like, oh, did you pay up on your wager? Did you accept Lola? And Lauren is like, no, he accepted you, for who you are. And that's kind of like this big, meaningful gesture. And so as he goes to the airport for Milan, he calls Lola and leaves this really nice apology on Lola's voicemail. And he goes off to Milan. And the other half of that song is you find out that Lola's performing at a nursing home, and he speaks to his dad, who is in the nursing home, who's dying, and he kind of gets a little bit of closure for their relationship as he kind of like closes up on that. So really emotional song. It's a very good song. So Charlie and Lauren are in Milan now. They don't have any models because Charlie drove the Angels away. He wasn't able to hire any professional models. And Charlie's like, I have to do it myself. Because again, these are boots made for men. And so he has to wear the boots. And Lauren is like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. And she's kind of realizing that this is maybe the man for her. And he's like, shaky, like he's up there, he's like not doing well, and then like right when it seems like the show is going to be a complete disaster, Lola and the Angels show up there, then everything, like everybody is there celebrating at the end because they do raise you up.
Dawn walks out in some kinky boots. That's fantastic.
They're all there celebrating. Lauren and Charlie, they kiss, and I love Lauren here where she's like you are currently available. It's like, yes, and you still like girls.
That part gets me so much.
It's so funny. I think it's also a little mini highlight to the fact that like you can be an ally and not, be gay or queer or anything like that. You can just be an ally, and I think that's a really fun indicator for that. But Lauren is fucking crazy. She's like a little like she golem kind of gremlin character.
Yeah, seriously, she's very quirky to say the least.
That is an understatement. I think.
Another thing that I love, going back to History of Wrong Guys, at the very end, it pops in my head. I've been executized when she goes up the stairs. That's like my favorite line in the whole.
Because that was right after she got promoted and everything.
Yeah, I've been executized.
Do forget about that. But yeah, the show goes well and everybody celebrates together, and again you get the ending song, which is Raise You Up Into Just Be, and it's a great little closer. And that's Kinky Boots. A very, very great musical. So welcome to the sound system. You'll this is a first actually. You'll note that it was a very kind of abrupt change into the sound system that we normally don't do. And that's because when I downloaded the audio and video files for the episode we recorded yesterday, I discovered that it cut off like the last 30 minutes of the podcast for no reason. So I'd like to thank Elliot and Adam for the flexibility in coming back here before they have to record their other podcast to re-record.
Really? I know we don't have a lot of time because we all three have shit to do, but do you remember that shitty movie that I talked about where it took 7 days to record a podcast?
Yeah, it's coming true. You haunted the podcast. We're being haunted by the podcast.
You put it out there and it's happening. Shit.
God damn, you spoke it into existence. You know what? Fucking fuck you and your manifesting, dog. I fucking can't stand this shit.
Now Lily's going to come back and be like, the sound system recorded, but the outro didn't. So we're going to have to come back a third time.
Fuck. All things considered, I thank Zencastr, which is the program we used to record for, giving us a pretty clean out, quite frankly, because it did capture the entirety of the conversation about Kinky Boots all the way up to the end. So I'm very pleased about that, but not pleased about the rest of it. So we're just going to get right into it. And we're going to start with our guest, Elliot. Elliot, we have given you permission for 2 since you're a guest and we don't know when you're going to come on again. So talk about your sound systems, because the first one, and I'm going to say this again, not an artist that I was expecting you to say when you did your intro at the top of the episode.
Yes.
So tell us about your first sound system.
Yes, my first sound system is Bridge Over Troubled Water by Harry Styles. Yes. So I would say I'm a big Harry Styles fan. My wife is the bigger Harry Styles fan of the two of us. We are actually going to go see him. We ended up getting cheap tickets in Mexico City. We looked at New York because that's the only 2 places he's coming in North America. New York for the floor was like $1,000. For Mexico City, we could get floor seats for $84.
Everything's cheaper in Mexico. Dental, health.
Yes, exactly. I'm like
Harry Styles tickets, apparently.
I need to figure out what like medical procedures I need to get done by the end of the month.
I do legit need to do medical work, and I have like dental work, I should say, and I have legitimately considered just going to Mexico because that would likely be cheaper on the whole than doing any of it up here. So,
for sure. But yeah, so Harry Styles, he is doing this worldwide tour, but he took a break from the regular tour of just him, and he put on a festival called the Meltdown Festival in London, and they capped it off by him doing a full set of mainly his own songs with a full orchestra. And all
which is really sick, a really sick idea.
Yeah. I've watched some clips of all of like some of his like original songs. Very cool. But then he, one of his songs on his new album is titled. Why am I blanking on what it's
titled? Song.
Not care. Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna have to pull it up as I talk. But it is. It's the last one, and somebody that's like a Harry Styles fan is probably just screaming at me right now. Yeah. But
I'm screaming at you because we just talked about this fucking yesterday.
I know.
What the fuck's happening?
I know. Carla's song. So
close.
Carla's song. So Carla's song, it's about his friend Carla had never heard of Simon and Garfunkel. And it is about him introducing her to Simon and Garfunkel and her just like falling in love with Simon and Garfunkel. And Bridge Over Troubled Water is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah. Something I didn't mention when we first recorded, which is great that now I get to re-mention is I was supposed to go see Art Garfunkel in Tulsa. I think I mentioned that maybe to you guys afterwards, but I was supposed to go see Art Garfunkel in Tulsa, and I mean he's getting up there, and so this was like my one opportunity to go see him perform that, and he like canceled like last minute.
I hate to laugh, but that also just sounds so depressing. While you have Rush, who's on like their 50th anniversary tour.
Yeah. Well,
isn't
Rush,
like there's a lot of stuff
Rush.
Isn't
it's true.
Isn't like Mike Love trying to do the Beach Boys by himself at the moment? Like that seems even more depressing than the last two.
And then there's another one like REO Speedwagon's frontman is now touring on his own with their songs while fighting with the band. Like it's all happening. Like all these chaotic ones that do and don't. But so anyway, this was like, and then I was really bummed that I was going to miss seeing him. And then 2 days later at this festival, Harry Styles does a cover of Bridge Over Troubled Water. And that is an incredibly hard song to sing. Yeah. And if you listen to it, there's some of the high notes and stuff like that he doesn't quite hit. He still sounds incredible. But I was like, okay, he's just going to play this safe. But at the very end, like the very crazy end part, he just fucking nails it, and he kills it, hits all the notes and everything like that. And then if you watch like the video afterwards, he like goes up, like he's just like on the piano and he kind of leans back and gives himself just like a quick like double clap, like he's like so excited that he hit it, and it's just like so funny. I did
in the time in between yesterday and now when we're recording this, I did get a chance to actually like sit and listen to it. It is actually really, really good. As somebody who is not as into Harry Styles as I think some other people are, I was very impressed by that.
Yeah, cover. Honestly, I didn't know he had that in him. I knew he was a good singer, but I didn't know he had that level. So he hasn't played it since on the tour, but I'm hoping like there's like a 0.1% chance that maybe he'll just be like on July 30th in Mexico City, that he'll feel like he needs to play it. That's my hope.
Just take a master ball with you and you might capture him.
There we
go.
Yeah.
With Adam's pick, there's a lot of bridge building in Mexico, so could be a sign.
Could be
a sign.
Then my other pick is Geese by Magnolian.
That's right. It was your pick.
Yes, it was my pick. Yeah. So Geese by Magnolian. That's another one that I have listened to when it was on the Death Stranding 2 soundtrack last year. And I really liked it. And it was like one that I would like, you can make like your little playlists. And that was one that I would put on the playlist quite a bit. That and like, of course, like Minus 61 and all the like really intense ones. But it just like really stuck with me, and it came back around because it popped up on a playlist. And I realized like in real time as my wife was listening to it, that this was like exactly her shit. She likes what sounds like sad white boy music, but this Magnolian is very much not a white boy. He is, it's a play on Mongolian because he is Mongolian. And actually between the time we recorded and now I listen to some more, he does a lot of singing in English and Mongolian in other songs, which is like really cool. In Geese, it's all English, but it's like really cool just listening to his other stuff, and just kind of, he slips back and forth like very like effortlessly. And it's like, of course I don't understand what he's saying, but it sounds beautiful.
Is this like a pop situation?
An pop?
Yeah, a little pop,
like
Mongolian pop.
Oh, like M-pop. You could have just said M-pop, and that would have been a little bit.
Absolutely.
Is M-pop something you are familiar with?
I can't imagine it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? I've known Adam since we were 4 years old, and he's like, yes, I fucking love I can't even fucking say it. Mongolian pop.
That's been his favorite genre since you've known him somehow.
Yeah. Just keep it in my back pocket.
Just coming up.
It's only for me.
Yeah, something that I did mention when we recorded this last was that like when I listened to it while we were recording, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I remember exactly what I was doing in Death Stranding 2 when this song came on, and that was visiting the fucking tar therapist.
Yeah,
for anybody who's not a gamer hearing the words, what the fuck's a tar therapist? I asked the exact same question.
I am a gamer and I played the shit out of that game, and I don't fucking remember what the tar therapist was.
I just remember the name. Adam Platinum did. I guarantee you he doesn't remember what the tar therapist is either.
Nope.
I don't know if that was a needle drop song or not. That like automatic, because like those of you that haven't played Death Stranding, it's like about traveling around to different areas, and as you get up to like new areas, there are specific songs that play automatically, thematically, and that's probably one that is. But yeah, just a really good song, and it's like like an artist that I'm sure it would be interesting to see how much of his like listens and following has been since Death Stranding.
Yeah, that'd be
even with Death Stranding, not a huge following, but very cool to check out.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You thought that our little podcast was going to be the one that raised him up from over 129,000 views on YouTube to just escalate. So who knows? Yeah. Maybe we can out Kojima on this bitch.
We're the rocket ship, bitch.
There we go. Just like, I could have done a Kojima level tweet for Supergirl. I saw Supergirl.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
better needle drop.
Elaborate.
If he does not like it, he does not elaborate. Supergirl, he did like, actually. He had a couple lengthy tweets. So
good for him.
Yeah.
I will say, so I did do some looking up, and I'll tell the fans. I will put both of your. I'll put Bridge Over Troubled Water, the Harry Styles version, in the YouTube playlist. But because that was a one-time thing that's not on Apple Music, I'm gonna put just the Simon and Garfunkel version on the Apple Music playlist. So you'll be getting some good shit regardless.
Yep.
Adam, what's your pick?
So mine was Click Clack Symphony by Ray featuring Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer, known for doing movie and TV soundtracks. Yeah. Thankfully, I had a second attempt at this and sounded better saying it the second time. But I'm still going to make the same joke where it's not as good as, you know, Harry Gregson Williams jumping on Metal Gear Solid 2. But it does sound really good. I think Hans Zimmer jumping into pop music is a nice little crossover that you really wouldn't think to happen, because this song really does do a lot of things where you think it doesn't sound like a pop song, right? Because it's got a guy who's famously known for doing orchestral music for soundtracks of these huge elaborate blockbuster movies. So you bring that into just a 5-minute song where I think it does earn every minute of those 5 minutes. It sounds insane. Like, I don't know, like somewhere around the 3-minute mark, it goes into a little spoken word poem where it's just expressing her, you know, feelings at the time. And this song is just kind of being pulled out of a funk and being taken out into the night to go like do things, which I think is something that probably a lot of people that listen to this podcast would experience. Like, sometimes you just find yourself in a rut and just need kind of dragged out, like taken out into life, and just experience fun and just remember what fun is and that you deserve to have a little bit of fun sometimes. So, I mean, like, it's a cool little thing.
Yeah. I think we're kind of learning that that pop music probably does benefit from orchestral sound here and there.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. There's an album. The Maine put out an album in 2019 called "You Are Okay," which may or may not be on our list of albums to cover for the podcast. And around, like, I think the next year they put out an album called "You Are Composed," which was just "You Are Okay" but like orchestral, and it's fucking incredible.
Hell
so
yeah.
I think more pop and alternative music should get into orchestra sounds. I think that'd be great.
Yeah,
personally.
Like, it's a strange clash that just oddly works. When it works, it fucking works. Sometimes I guess like it could go awry, but at least somewhere in the middle, you still have just like this cool ass music in the background. Yeah. Like, Usher couldn't pull it off, right?
Weirdly, I think Usher could pull it off. If you
God damn it! All right,
yeah.
Maybe Usher touring with Chris Brown in the year of our Lord 2026 probably couldn't.
Probably not.
Maybe 1998 Usher could.
I personally wish that Chris Brown would pull Nothing Off Ever Again, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just you. I think that's a lot of people.
A lot of people. You'd be surprised. A lot of people just don't give a fuck, man. And that's kind of crazy to me, but that's neither here nor there. My sound system pick is Running with the Sun in Your Eyes by Marmozets, which is a rock band that I really, really enjoy. I got into them in like 2014. There's a song on the album, it's called The Weird and Wonderful Marmozets, back in 2014, called Why Do You Hate Me, that I really, really was obsessed with for a very long time. They put out a second album in 2018, and then they went on a hiatus, an 8-year-long hiatus, which is insane to me. And then they came out with an album in May that completely missed me, called Cowardice. So there's a period after after war, and after dis, so it's co-war dice. but that came out in May, and it fucking rips. It is 2 sets of siblings came together, created this band. The lead singer is a woman, and it's a fucking kick-ass band. Given what we're going to be getting into next season, it does kind of remind me a little bit of like, what if Paramore was heavier?
Sure.
And I really fucking vibe with that. But Running with the Sun in Your Eyes specifically is this really great rock song with this really like rhythmic feel to it that that has like a little bit of like electric haze added on top of it, and it really fucking rips. Like I've got a very, it might be my favorite album by them out of the 3.
Oh hell yeah.
It just the song, what's the song called? Let me go to the album really quick. But so album,
like, I think this is a solid sound, right? Like this song fucking bops.
Yeah, like am I wrong in that assessment? Like what if Paramore was a little heavier? Like I feel like I'm
for sure
close in that assessment.
I probably fuck with Paramore a little then.
Fuck, you will at the end of next season. You will. You will
miserable
love.
ass. Yeah, I agree. The song "Cut Back" showed up in my new music playlist for the week last week, and I was like, "What the fuck is this Marmosets?" And I looked and I was like, "This is Marmoset," so I went to go check. But "Cut Back" is really good. Dandy is really good. Dandy's like a slower song that's kind of like halfway through the album that's really good. I also like You Want the Truth a lot as well, but the whole album is really good, and Running with the Sun in Your Eyes might be my favorite on the album, but I'll have to give it a couple more spins before I consider fully. Before we leave, I do want to dedicate one little section of the sound system to you, Elliot, for one more thing, because what it did cut out was you talking about Just Pee. And I don't want to miss that conversation. So can you tell us about Just Pee really quick?
Yes. So Just Pee was when all of the stupid controversy about transgender women using women's bathrooms and stuff like that, and people, right wingers, getting so upset. The then cast of Kinky Boots came out with a parody of their own song "Just Be" called "Just Pee." And it's like, the line is "Just pee where you wanna pee," and it's fantastic.
It's so good. I did because me and Adam hadn't heard of it. I did listen to it in the meantime, and it's very good. So I will put that in the show notes for people to listen to.
Very good, very fitting.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that we get ripped off of is another sound, like another song has hit the towers kind of fucking sound system joke. Like that kind of, I'm all fucked up over it. It just really emotionally has devastated me, and I need recompense.
That we lost that. Yeah.
Because my second sound system, when we initially recorded, I like did a jump surprise at the end.
It was a jump
Lilli
scare.
did hers.
Yeah.
And yes, Adam did say
really inside baseball on this.
It's hit the towers. So
the second song has hit the towers.
We streamlined it a little bit, refined it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's almost like that was like the dress rehearsal sound system.
Yeah. It was like the calm before the storm, which is this right now. That is it, though. I did want to also mention, we did talk about that guy that was like really pressed about the dad that brought his daughters into the women's bathroom because of that, and that was a whole thing. And I'll just sum that up by saying, why are old white men really, really concerned about little girls being in the women's bathroom and not the men's bathroom? That's just
think the idea of sexualizing a bathroom is disgusting.
Insane. Like, you go in there, you use the bathroom, and then you fucking wash your hands, hopefully, and leave. So that's what bathrooms are for. Who the fuck cares? But you know. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Let's try this one more time this week for Sad Kids Record Society. Thank you, Elliot, for insisting upon being here. We really appreciate you being here.
Basically busted the door down. You're talking Kinky Boots. I'm in.
You knocked down the fuck damn door.
Yeah, I really did. You barreled that fuck damn door down.
It doesn't matter if you close it or not. I'm going to knock it down.
Doesn't matter. So we will be back not next week, but the week after with the start of season 2, Brand New Eyes by Paramore, which I'm very excited about. I know Elliot will be excited to listen to, and I know Adam is just going to be a curmudgeon about for most of the season. I can almost guarantee.
Still excited about that more than an Evanescence concert.
Yeah. Yeah, that's mall music, by the way. I saw that at the mall. I heard that at the mall.
Yeah. Of course it is.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
And just imagine, like, I get weeks of Paramore. Meanwhile, I get like 90 minutes of Evanescence, and I'm still looking forward to this more.
Yeah, I do want to throw out there that is two. Again, I cannot let this escape. Two female artists that Adam is clowning upon.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Hayley Williams, you know, she's doing a music festival in Mexico in January with another really good, really renowned artist. His name is Noah Khan. He does.
God, I hope you have to get a heart replacement in Mexico, motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Oopgate.
I so want to, like, that's like, he calls it like his out of the blue festival, something like that, and like his big special guest is Hayley Williams, and I was like, fuck. I looked it up, it's like $7,000 per person.
Jesus.
But that is like, it's like 3 days. It's all inclusive at a resort in Mexico, but damn
in Mexico, imagine that in New York.
Yeah, like, no kidding.
$80,000.
Yeah. Well, in Mexico, that person could have just went out in the ocean and pooped, you know?
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. Poopgate. Before we go, another mall music song. Guess what I fucking heard also in the mall on the same day that I heard Evanescence? Tell
me it was Decode by Paramore.
It was not Decode by Paramore. It was fucking The Craving by 21 Pilots.
Ooh, wow. That's fucked up.
The radio version, not the Genesis version.
Sure.
The fast version. That was kind of weird to hear. I will say, though, and I don't know if we mentioned this, I think this is probably the first time we will be mentioning this since we cut that part out. That part got cut out. But I think we will be covering Decode as part of the brand new ice season as well, because I think that just makes sense. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, next week, that's kind of the cadence. As we do a season, we take a week off, we do a deep cut, take a week off, then we get back into the season. So we're going to enjoy a nice week off next week. And then we're going to be right back after that with season 2, Brand New Eyes by Paramore. But until then, it is my pleasure to declare this meeting of the Sad Kids Record Society closed. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Just like MCR, I don't love you.
Damn. Cold-blooded, dude. How dare you?
How could you? Podcaster, Bella.
How could this skin of a... God damn it.
Did I listen to pop music because I was miserable? Or was I miserable because I listened to pop music?